If you're good at your job, this video might make you uncomfortable. Because toxic companies don't exploit lazy people. They exploit competent ones. There is a lie they tell that sounds fair, professional, even ethical. Most people hear it and feel reassured. It sounds like stability. It sounds like order. It sounds like how work is supposed to function. But if you actually believe it, your career slowly stalls while others move ahead. Quietly, politely, and without conflict. Today, I'm going to show you what that lie is, why it works so well on good employees, and how believing it damages your career over time without obvious warning signs. No scandal, no dramatic failures, just slow erosion. If you've ever felt confused by how work actually works, stay with me, because confusion is usually the first signal that you're in a system that doesn't run on the rules it claims to follow. Here is the lie. Just keep doing great work, and it will speak for itself. Sometimes it's phrased differently. Focus on the work, not politics. Results matter here. Merit always rises here. This language shows up everywhere. Performance reviews, all-hands meetings, corporate value statements. It sounds reasonable. It sounds fair. It sounds like something a healthy company would say. That's why it's dangerous. Because in toxic companies, this statement is not advice. It's a containment strategy, and it works best on people who take it literally, people who assume good faith, people who think systems are aligned with what they claim to reward. Toxic organizations have a structural problem. They cannot measure real value cleanly. Real work is messy. It's collaborative. It's contextual. It doesn't fit neatly into slides. So instead of fixing measurement, toxic systems replace it. They replace evidence with perception. Perception is cheaper. Perception is easier to manage. Perception protects people at the top from accountability. Because perception doesn't require precision. It requires storytelling. So the system quietly shifts. Not officially, not in writing, culturally. From output to optics. From contribution to visibility, from substance to narrative. And once that shift happens, competence becomes a liability. Because competence creates contrast. Contrast exposes inefficiency. Contrast exposes incompetence. Contrast threatens people who advance through perception instead of performance. So the system adapts, not by removing competence, but by neutralizing it, by keeping competent people busy, overloaded, heads down, focused on execution, while decisions get made elsewhere. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Toxic companies don't promote the best performers. They promote the most believable performers. People who manage narratives. People who curate impressions. People who know when to speak, when to stay silent, and who needs to see them speaking. People who understand that visibility is not accidental. This is false performance. It's not about lying outright. It's about controlling interpretation. It's about framing. Two people can produce the same outcome, same quality, same impact. One documents it, frames it, presents it upward, mentions it casually in the right meeting. The other assumes the work will be noticed. Only one advances, and it's not the quieter one. Competent employees fall into a predictable pattern. When something goes wrong, they self-correct. They ask what they could have done better. They work harder. They take responsibility. They fill gaps without being asked. That works in healthy systems. In toxic ones, it flags you as safe. Safe to exploit. Your accountability becomes a dumping ground. Your reliability becomes invisibility. Your silence becomes consent. And slowly, without any formal decision, a narrative forms around you. Solid, dependable, reliable. These sound positive. But notice what's missing. Vision, leadership, and growth. You become operational, necessary, but not discussed. Trusted, but not sponsored. Not because you lack ability, but because you removed friction from the system. And friction is how power notices you. People who create no friction are easy to ignore. Now here's where this gets darker. Because the damage doesn't happen all at once. There's no single moment where you can point and say, that's when it went wrong. It happens quietly, over the years. Missed opportunities that were never announced. Conversations that happened without you. Roles that were restructured before you heard about them. Most people don't realize what it's costing them until they try to leave. Believing this lie doesn't just stall promotions. It reshapes how you're perceived permanently. Your manager stops advocating for you, not because they dislike you, but because they don't associate you with upward movement. You stop being discussed in rooms you're not in. Your name doesn't come up when future plans are made. Your work becomes infrastructure, necessary, invisible, replaceable, and when opportunities arise, they don't think of you. Not because you're bad, but because you trained the system to see you as background. Meanwhile, people who underperform but self-promote become high potential. They speak early. They claim partial credit loudly. They frame setbacks as leadership challenges. Not by accident, by design. The system rewards whoever reduces uncertainty for those in power. And perception reduces uncertainty better than truth. The most dangerous part of this lie is internal. When results don't translate into recognition, competent people assume they're missing something. They assume it's a skill gap, a communication gap, confidence issue. So they try harder, they polish more, they stay later, they volunteer again, they internalize failure without evidence. This is gaslighting by structure. No one needs to insult you. No one needs to attack you directly. The system just withholds feedback, withholds advancement, withholds clarity, and you fill in the gaps by blaming yourself. That's how good employees stay too long. They keep waiting for the rules to reappear. At this point, most people ask the wrong question. They ask, how do I prove my value better? That question is already a trap, because proving value assumes the system is looking for it. In toxic environments, it isn't. The real risk isn't doing too little. It's doing the wrong things in a rigged environment. Effort doesn't fail loudly here. It fails silently. If this is putting words to something you felt but couldn't explain, subscribe. Not for motivation, for clarity. Because understanding the system reduces how much power it has over you. When you believe just do great work, you enter a silent agreement. You give effort. The company gives ambiguity. No timelines, no benchmarks, no explicit commitments, just reassurance. And ambiguity always favors power, because ambiguity can be reinterpreted later. No metrics, no transparency, no accountability, just vibes and narratives. That's not trust, that's asymmetry. And asymmetry is where ethical people lose. Here's the reframe. You were not naive. You were operating under a different rulebook. One that assumes fairness, feedback, proportional reward. That rulebook exists, just not everywhere. Toxic companies rely on people like you believing it's universal. It isn't. Your confusion was information, not failure. Your frustration was data, not weakness. You weren't behind. You were misaligned. And here's the part most people get wrong next. Once you see the lie, instinct kicks in. You want to fix it. You want to adapt. You want to be smarter about it. But there are specific behaviors that feel responsible, ethical, even mature that will actually make things worse. There are 7 things especially. They seem harmless. They feel professional. They are often praised in healthy environments. And in a toxic job, you should never do them, because they deepen the trap. They reinforce the narrative. They keep you visible but powerless. That's what the next video breaks down. Not how to win the system, but how to stop feeding it. Because once you stop believing the lie, survival depends on avoiding those mistakes. And almost everyone makes at least 3 of these grievous mistakes. Everything you just learned explains why the system works the way it does. But understanding alone doesn't protect you. Protection comes from restraint, from knowing what not to do, especially if you're competent, especially if you care. The next video covers the 7 things you should never do in a toxic job. Because once you see them, you can't unsee them. Watch that next.